Hi, today I want to talk about box wine. What is that stuff? Is it worth getting? Is it total trash or not? So let's take a look and dive into a bit of box wine. Now, some of you early on in your wine drinking careers may have done a lot of box wine, all well and good. Is it good? Depends on your taste. Is it exquisite wine? Definitely not. Is it table wine? You could call it that. Now, there's some advantages or some perks, I guess you could call them, to box wine. One of them being it's very cheap. It keeps well. If you've never looked at it, inside that box is a plastic Mylar type container that actually holds the wine. So as you let the wine out the spigot, it collapses in, so you never have any air in there. You don't get any oxidation, so it stays pretty fresh. If you want to call it that, it stays pretty much from when you open it to the time it's all gone, it's going to taste pretty much the same. That's a good thing. It stores well. Would I drink it on a regular basis? No. Would I take it to a picnic or something like that? Sure, why not? Not my first choice, but if I'm going to be around a lot of people who aren't particularly wine drinkers, there's a couple things you can do with box wine that I wouldn't normally do with other wine. One of them is make wine coolers out of it. Take a regular glass, fill it, full of ice, add in a half a glass or fill it halfway up with a box wine, put the lemon lime soda or something like that in the other half. Makes kind of a delightful little beverage to drink on a hot summer day. Very nice. Not exactly, again, exquisite wine, but it's something to do with it. If you're having a big party and not a fancy party, but just a big party, a lot of people, all varieties and such, that wine drinkers or not wine drinkers, it's kind of a nice alternative. If you're having your wine buddies over, no, just put that in the back closet. Don't even think about getting it out with your wine buddies. Your wine buddies are going to bring wine, and you're going to have your better wine out for them. So, no, box wine and wine friends don't mix. Box wine is good for, I'm going to use this in a tongue-in-cheek method, the great unwashed masses. It's not for people who enjoy good wine. It is a nice alternative or a cheap alternative to toting around a lot of bottles and paraphernalia. Like I say, if you're on some sort of a picnic or out in the country and there's going to be a lot of people, it's an all day long thing. If you don't want to spend a lot on wine for that, but you want to have something to drink with you, that's a good alternative. Now, I'm not going to beat on it too hard. There are some actually better ones coming out or that have come out recently. I still would not call them high-end wine, but they're better than some of the originals. So with that in mind, here's something that's not from a box, and cheers. Anyway, you want that tip right there to come almost all the way through the bottom. And the reason for that is the corkscrew actually reinforces the cork.